Okay, so re-entering the workplace if you have RSD. So that's something that like was definitely of concern for me and still kind of is. It's something that it's one of the reasons why I haven't been to the high school yet or subbed in the high school, because I think that I'm just like terrified of attempting to get them to do something and then, you know, if they're not gonna follow my directions, that's rejection. And so, like, my job technically is kind of like a constant potential for rejection. So you said it's like I'm having a great day, then RSD happens and it ruins everything. Yeah, no. I get that. So my brain just popped up, and it said rain meditation. So let's think about this a little bit. So I'm going to be thinking about this from the perspective of I am not actively feeling the RSD right now, and so I might be speaking on it in a way that is like, Jen, what you're saying isn't helpful. That's not going to be helpful in the moment. Okay? So don't take it as me seeming like I don't understand the intensity of, you know, kind of like the incidences I'm speaking on. However, I want to still try to talk through it so that maybe we can kind of understand some potential options to have in the back of our mind or have written down, because, you know, sometimes our brain isn't going to try to reach those other things. Okay, so my first kind of thought here is, and this is me thinking about maybe like what I would attempt to do. So first of all, if we were to consider maybe attempting to follow the rain meditation, R is recognize. So recognize what you're feeling with that triggering rejection. What is it that you're feeling? You don't have to make a story about it or anything. Just recognize that you're feeling it. So, and typically, obviously, it's like I'm feeling rejected. But sometimes I don't feel... I like don't on the surface feel rejected, but I'm like having a big feeling reaction, and so it's not always super obvious. But the next one is accept. So accept that you're feeling that way. Accept that you are someone who experiences rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and it is okay that you are having this reaction. And then the I is investigate. So, like, where is this coming up in my body? What is this feeling like? And then what stories am I telling myself, and what am I believing? And I think that this is where it comes into play. So, like, we're having the big feelings and stuff. What stories am I telling myself? What am I believing? So, whether someone, you know, didn't see our hello, or they said that they don't want to go out to lunch with us, or... I'm trying to think of like a more subtle example, because sometimes it's like, oh, that's not rejection, but it's like if the thing you're anticipating doesn't happen, like I think in my mind that can feel like rejection. But anyway, what stories am I telling myself? Am I telling myself that this person doesn't like me? Am I telling myself that I'm unwanted in this space? Am I believing that people think I'm weird? Am I believing that I am worthless? Am I telling myself that I can't do this? So that's the investigating part. Try, if you can, try to like break into that a little bit and be like, okay, I accept that I'm having this, like I recognize I'm feeling this way. I'm accepting that I have this because this is something that I experience. Next, investigating, where is this coming up for me? Sometimes we can't always like identify exactly what it is. However, I feel like this will come in handy when it comes to rejection sensitivity, because it gives us the opportunity to kind of confront the idea of like, okay, so we're having this reaction, but what is my brain telling me to kind of, get me to have this reaction? Is my brain telling me that they have no desire to talk to me? Is my brain telling me that not one person is going to want to hang out with me? Is my brain telling me that I'm not worthy enough to speak to this group of people? And then the end of the RAIN meditation is nurture. What do I need right now? Do I need to take some deep breaths? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to try to talk to myself and tell myself that I'm okay, depending on, the situation? Do I need to get a glass of water? Do I need to, did I say go talk to someone already? But like, what can I do to nurture myself in this moment whilst having the big feelings? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I've often believed that I've been rejected by something even when I am not. That can happen too. For example, when someone goes to someone else rather than me. Well, yeah, so like that is an example of like the rejection sensitivity. We're sensitive, I think, just to the idea of potentially getting rejected. And I think also that this is where the RAIN meditation thing comes into play, because the investigate part helps us identify that we're telling ourselves that story,